best times to start a business is during the recession. And the number one reason why is because the data tells us, like historically, the most millionaires are created during down markets. So if you think about the pandemic, for example, we've had a number of people become millionaires during the pandemic, during one of the worst economic downturns that we've seen, during one of the most periods of social unrest in modern history that we've seen. And we've had the most millionaires be created during that time, right? And so when you think about a recession, when you think about a down market, I want you guys to understand that this is where people get rich. This is where people land on new money. And, you know, our communities, and I'm talking about like communities of color in particular, we're always taught that we need to save, and not spend, right? We're always taught that we need to save, and not spend. And that scarcity mindset is what keeps us in poverty. While the wealthy out here, the way that they think about down markets, the way that they think about recessions is they're like, oh shit, it's a sale out here, right? There's a sale going on out here. And that's how they think about this, right? They think about this as this being a buying opportunity. And so I challenge you guys to think about what is going on right now as an opportunity versus an Achilles heel, right? Versus a challenge for you, versus something that, you know, is going to hold you down. I want you to challenge yourself to shift your mindset about what a big opportunity there is right now for us to shake things up, right? What's up, Bay Area? I see you, right? To shake things up. Shout out to Bonita for sharing the live. I appreciate you guys. Share this live with at least 5 people and comment done in the comments so that we can get this information out to people, right? Top reasons to start a business during a recession. That's what we're talking about. So, you know, and this was something that I've had to challenge myself on, right? I've had to like really talk to myself in the mirror and be like, okay, B, like, we're going to use this as an opportunity. And one of the major things that I learned during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, I was in a black hole. Like I found myself in this space where I was in unknown territory, right? Because normally I'm very confident. Normally I'm very like go-getter. Normally I'm like, okay, let's build this thing. Let's go secure the big bag, right? And what I found is I just found myself in this black hole and I left a lot of money on the table, right? I left a lot of money on the table. And I promised myself, once I got out of that hole and once I got my mind right and I was emotionally ready to like take on challenges, I promised myself that I would never, ever allow my emotional turbulations, my emotional state to carry more weight than the focus on securing the big bag. I made that promise to myself. And it has been one that I have upheld ever since. Like ever since I made that promise to myself, things have been very different. Okay. Yes, Christian, when you save up when things are good. So when times are bad, you can buy up the sale. Thank you, Bonita, for sharing this again. I appreciate you guys. So I made that promise to myself. So each of you have to make that promise to yourself that regardless of what's going on in the external market, regardless of what is happening, the social unrest, if you're going through a breakup, if your boo got you mad, if you're no longer friends with somebody and you're sad about it, your family's getting on your nerves, like whatever is triggering you emotionally, you have to promise yourself and commit to yourself that regardless of what is going on with you emotionally, that you are going to stay focused on securing the big bag. Everybody in the comments, right? Secure the big bag. Put that in the comments. And this is great practice for you, given that the recession is coming and things are going to get tight. Things are already tight, but things are going to get even more tight, right? And you're going to see more media talking about how shit is hitting the fan. Now it's monkeypox, right? Talking about how monkeypox shit is hitting the fan. Like, shit is out here getting real, right? And so you have to challenge yourself to say, regardless of what is happening externally, I'm going to make this happen for me. Regardless of what's happening externally, I'm going to make this happen for me. I am going to secure the big bag, period. Punto. Right? Period. And so that was something that I had to do for me, and it has been working. Ever since I made that commitment to myself, that I was going to not allow what was happening in the market, what was happening outside of my control, to dictate the actions that I take in my everyday life to build my business. Once I made that decision, the money started coming in. I was in my flow, right? I was in my flow. And here we have another situation with the recession coming that's going to try and fuck with my flow, right? And so after the recession, there'll be something else. After monkeypox, there'll be something else. There's always going to be something that is happening that is going to trigger something in you to make you feel like you don't want to do anything. Like you don't want to go on. But I don't want you to sleep. I don't want you to sleep on yourself, especially right now. I don't want you to sleep. There's money out here for you to get right now, okay? There's money out here for you to get right now. And I want you to get this money because you deserve to get this money. All right? So first things, why is now the perfect time for you to start a business during the recession is because the most millionaires are made during a downturn. The best ideas come during a downturn, right? When I tell you to challenge yourself and think about the opportunity at hand, what I'm talking about is, okay, what is happening right now that I can solve for? What is a problem that's happening right now that I can solve for, right? That's what I want you guys to think about. What is happening right now? What is a problem that is happening right now that I can solve for, right? Because down markets, and when we are experiencing something like a recession, there's opportunity to solve for problems because there's so many new problems. So that's your opportunity to find a solution. And people pay for solutions. They pay for convenience, right? They pay for solutions and they pay for convenience. That is what they pay the most for. So if you're able to provide a solution to a problem, if you're able to create convenience for someone, they will pay you, right? So when you're thinking about how you can make money right now, think about those two things. How can I make something more convenient for somebody? How can I solve a problem for somebody? And boom, you Gucci, right? So that's number one. Number two, if you are a woman of color, if you are a person of color, given the recession immediately following the pandemic, there are a number of grants for you, in particular, for emerging entrepreneurs. There are a number of grants that are available to you, okay? A simple Google search will help you find out about those grants, right? So during a down market, when things are tight, you have all these philanthropists, and shout out to the philanthropists in the world, shout out to the wealthy who want to give back. They are creating all of these programs, right? They are creating all of these programs for you to get free money that you don't even have to pay back, okay? Money that you don't even have to pay back. And this is what you should be thinking about. You should be thinking about the fact that during a down market, the fact that the recession is immediately following the pandemic, There is now all this money out there for you to bring your dreams to fruition. All you have to do is literally run a Google search. Grants for women, grants for women of color, grants for people of color, grants for emerging entrepreneurs, and you will see so many grants come up that you can start applying for. They even have grants available if you don't even have a business and you're thinking about starting a business. They have grants available for you to start your business. I actually have something free if you are interested in starting your business. There's a free training that I offer. I put the website down here. It's also in the link in my bio. A free training showing you the 3 steps that I took to make the transition from corporate into entrepreneurship without losing my financial security, even if you don't know what type of business to start, right? You have that free training at your disposal, literally giving you the game, the framework that I use to make the transition. And I've been in business for 5 years now. So my point is there are so many resources available to you. You just have to be proactive in doing the research so you can start taking advantage of those resources that are available to you, right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is, Sir Highness, I want you to watch that free training that I have pinned. Go to that website, watch that free training, and that will help get you started. The next thing, and you're already hearing this, you already heard about this during the pandemic, the Great Resignation, right? So you have the Great Resignation happening, and you also have massive layoffs that are coming. A lot of tech companies, Facebook, our man Mark Zuckerberg just said, like, listen, if you're not performing, we're firing you. If you're not performing, we're firing you. And also, we're letting go of a major part of our task force. Right? A major part of our workforce, we are letting go. So what that means is that if you're thinking about starting a business or you're looking for partners or you need help and you need to leverage somebody else's thought leadership, you now have all this human capital, all this talent that is out of a job and looking for shit to do. So you can hire them on your team or you can partner with them to launch a new business, right? Opportunity that comes through downturns and recessions are very real, right? They're very real. So how can you take advantage of what is going on right now? So I gave you 3 major things of why it's the best time for you to start a business, right? 1, the most millionaires happen in down markets, right? They are created during down markets. 2, there's so much grant money that's out here, right? So much grant money that is out here for you to take advantage of. And 3, because there's so many layoffs that are happening, there's opportunity for you to hire new people for your teams. There's opportunity for you to partner with new people to launch your business, right? So there's opportunity in the madness. And I always say, in order to appreciate the sweet, you have to experience the sour. In order to appreciate the sweet, you have to experience the sour, right? So some of you right now might feel like you're in the sour space. Like you feel like, oh, I just don't feel like myself. I'm feeling discouraged. I'm unmotivated. And so you need to make that commitment that I spoke about earlier, right? You need to make the commitment to focus on the mission and not your feelings. And if the mission is to have financial freedom, if the mission is to have time freedom, if the mission is to build legacy, if the mission is to break generational curses, if the mission is to do your own thing so you don't got to answer to nobody, if that is the mission, then that's what we need to focus on. We need to take action steps that are going to help us get to completing the mission, right? So write a number 1 in the chat if you are an aspiring entrepreneur. Write a number 1 if you want to start a business. And write a number 2 if you are currently in business full time. So number 1, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you want to start a business. Write a number 2 if you are an entrepreneur full-time, so I can know who's up in here. All right. Christina 1, Beyond Blessed 1, Bonita 1. Aisha, what's up, mama? 1. Okay. So, for all of you who listed number 1, your first step is to watch my free training. It's right there, www.victoriajen.com/training. You can also access that training via the link in my bio. It is absolutely free. After you watch the training is like 15 minutes long. You have the opportunity to book a magic call with me, which is a free call, so we can talk about the Dare to Leap Academy. And we can talk about you joining the Dare to Leap Academy. And the Dare to Leap Academy, for those of you who don't know, is an online learning platform where I teach you how to make the transition from corporate or your 9-to-5 into entrepreneurship. Beyond Blessed, what did you get scared about? Right? So I teach you how I did it, right? How I was in corporate for 15 years. I had my 9-to-5 for 15 years. And after 15 years, I decided to bet on myself and start my own business 5 years ago, right? 5 years ago. And since that, I've launched 3 businesses, healthy 6 figures, on our way to hit a milli. Okay? So let's talk about why I called it Dare to Leap. All right? I called it Dare to Leap because in order for you to truly tap into your potential and live in your greatness, monetize your greatness, for you to truly be happy, for you to create the legacy, for you to have the time freedom, for you to have the financial freedom, you have to be daring. Okay? You have to be daring. You have to dare to be the best at what you do. You have to dare to bet on yourself. You have to dare to want to live life on your terms. You have to dare to want to not have to answer to nobody and do your own thing, right? You have to dare to leap. And so that's why I called it the Dare to Leap Academy, because we need to be daring in our pursuit of happiness. We need to be daring in our pursuit of solace. We need to be daring in our pursuit of being the best version of ourselves, for our families, for our partners, for our friends, for the world, so we could be the change we want to see, right? We have to be daring in that way. We have to be a badass, right? In that way. And so that's why it's called the Dare to Leap Academy, because we need to dare to make the leap, to make the jump. Now, Beyond Blessed said that they were scared to take the first step, all right? And I understand how scary it could be to do things that go against the grain, right? To do things that you have been preconditioned to believe is the only way for you to succeed, or the only way for you to level up, the only way for you to make money. It is difficult for us to let go of what we've been preconditioned to believe, right? Or what we've seen in our environment. It's difficult for us to turn that off and then turn on another switch that's going to help us level up, right? That's going to help us get to the next level. And so this fear, you have a decision to make on, right? You can either allow the fear to serve as an Achilles heel, or you can allow the fear to serve as fuel for you to get where you're trying to go. Because let me tell you something. Everybody that you look up to, everybody that you admire, everybody that you feel like, you know what, I want to be like them. Guess what they're doing? They're doing it fucking scared, right? They're doing it fucking scared. Thank you, Bonita. I appreciate that. Okay? I'm doing it fucking scared. Jennifer Lopez is doing it fucking scared. You think when she had to go and perform at the halftime show at the Super Bowl with our hermana Shakira that she wasn't scared? Of course she was scared. She was nervous. She was like, holy shit, I got to make this happen. And she was scared even after all those hours of practice, all those hours of preparation, she still was scared. Why? Because it's a natural human reaction to us doing something we've never done before. It's a natural human reaction for us tapping into a new level of ourselves, right? It's a natural human reaction to stepping into our greatness. We're going to be scared, okay? And so what you have to decide is, are you going to allow the fear to serve as a weapon, to serve as a barrier against your greatness? And a lot of you are afraid of your greatness. A lot of you are afraid of your potential. A lot of you are afraid of how much money you can actually make out here because you've never seen the money. You've never, no one personally in your network has gotten that money. And so it's like, can I really do this? Am I deserving of this? And this is why inside the Dare to Leap Academy, the first thing we focus on is mindset. The first thing we focus on is mindset because it is the foundation of everything that you do. It is the foundation, okay? So if you ain't got your mindset right, if you haven't been able to master this mindset thing and have routines, processes, strategies in place, right? Have these routines, strategies in place of what are you going to do when shit hits the fan? What are you going to do when imposter syndrome starts to creep in? If you don't have strategies or routines or practices, best practices that you can implement when these things happen, you will always succumb to the fear. You will always break. And that's why in the academy, I go over those strategies and routines with you so that you are able to create the structure that is needed in order for you to fight through the mental challenges that will come, inevitably will come, because you are tapping into a new version of you. You are evolving, right, to the next level of you. And that evolvement, honey, that evolvement does not come easy, but it has the greatest reward at the end, right? And I always make this analogy. When you go to the gym and you have a crazy leg day and the next day you can't even sit your ass on the toilet because your legs is all wobbly and you're sore. But then you look at the mirror and you're like, oh shit, my little bumpy bump up, right? It's worth the pain. And that's how you have to think about it. You have to think about the process of being pain. And trust me, that process is a pain, okay? Because I'll be in the process and I'll be like, yo, I'm over this process, okay? I am over this. But I remind myself of what is the reward after the pain, right? What is the reward after the pain? Christina says, I'm more afraid of confirming not being enough. Let's talk about not being enough. Let's talk about not being enough. And what does that mean when we feel like we are not enough? By the way, guys, if this is resonating with you, please share this live with 5 people and comment done. Like, let's get people in here because we're talking about real life shit right now. So if you have friends in your life, colleagues in your life that is struggling with this mindset, that is struggling right now, please invite them into this live and comment done when you share this out with 5 people. So let's talk about this theory about not being enough, right? About not being enough and like confirming that you are not enough. So the first thing I want you to think about is, who are you comparing yourself to for you to believe that you're not enough? Who are you comparing yourself to? Because that's really what it boils down to. You're comparing yourself to somebody, something, right? Somebody, something that's making you feel like, you know what? I am not enough, right? I am not enough. I'm not enough because this person is doing it and they seem to be winning. I am not enough because I've never done this before. I am not enough because the people around me is telling me that I'm crazy. I am not enough because I am not willing to take the risk, right? And as you get older, or just have more seasonality in your experience, professionally and personally, you'll become more self-aware of who you are and who you are not. And when you get that self-awareness, you need to begin to start making intentions for yourself. So for example, I'm self-aware of the fact that I am overweight. And I know that I could go to the gym more. I should be going to the gym more. I know that I should be paying attention to my nutrition. And what I have to do every day is I have to set the intention of, all right, B, today you're not going to be a fat ass. Today you're not going to eat crazy. Okay? Today you are not going to eat crazy. Today you are going to eat clean and you're going to take your ass to the gym. That is an intention that I have to set myself for every day, because I'm self-aware enough to know that I'll easily eat like a fat ass and not go to the gym, right? So each of you know certain things about yourself and certain things about yourself that you want to improve upon, okay? Each of you know. You know when you're not focused. You know when you slacking. You know when you are not showing up as your best. You know when you are not giving yourself 1,000. You know when you're standing in your own way. Beyond Blessed says, I'm quick to quit. So if you know these things about you, then you are going to have to set intentions for yourself that says, you know what? Today is not the day. Today is the day where I'm going to change everything. But you have to commit that to yourself. And there's no affirmations. There's no Tony Robbins. There's no YouTube motivational video that you can watch that is going to keep you consistent. That is going to keep you consistent until you decide for yourself and commit to yourself that you're going to follow things through, that you're going to see things through. And the way that you do this is you set small milestones. So for example, if you know that you start something and you never follow through, commit to yourself for the next 30 days, I'm going to follow through on this. For the next 30 days, I'm going to follow through on this. And commit to the 30 days. Make it small little micro goals that you can commit to every day, so it doesn't feel super overwhelming, so it doesn't feel like shit is hitting the fan, so it doesn't feel like, you know what, this is too much. It's easier to quit. Set the small micro goals to help you get to the bigger goals. All right? And what you also have to do for yourself, y'all, is you need to give yourself some grace, all right? You need to give yourself some grace, because I was at a conference earlier this year in April in Napa. What's up, Rebecca? What's up, Vanessa? Okay. What's up, y'all? I was at a conference, and it was one of those conferences where I really trusted the organizer. You know, they're my family. They're my family. Yes, Beyond Blessed and Christina, you guys can serve as accountability partners, because accountability partners makes a difference. So I told you guys, right? Fat ass Jim, I got an accountability partner and I show up. So accountability partners is key. That is another way for you to stay committed to something, is getting yourself an accountability partner that you know you have to respond to, that you know you have to commit to. Okay? So, and listen, Christina says we have the same issue. And this is what I want you guys to pay attention to. The majority of people struggle with not committing and following things through. They struggle with believing in themselves. They struggle with imposter syndrome. They struggle with getting out of their own way. They struggle with allowing fear to dictate the actions that they take in their life. This is the majority of people. And this is why over 60% of Americans in this country are broke. This is why. Because the majority of people succumb to their emotions. The majority of people allow their emotions to dictate the actions that they take. The majority of the people do not invest in themselves so they can get their mindset right. The majority of people do not invest. They do not invest in becoming the best version of themselves. And so they are in the hamster wheel. They're in the hamster wheel. And they keep going round and round. And every year it's the same things, the same challenges, it's the same struggles. Because it's easier to deflect. It's easier to say, you know what? I don't want to deal with this today. It's too much. It's easier to give up. It's easier to quit. And a lot of people rather do easy than hard. They rather do easy than challenge themselves. And this is why I say it's so important for you to make the commitment to yourself. Like, what do you really want out of this life? What do you really want? And are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Because no Prince Charming is going to come and save you. No Prince Charming is going to come and save you. Okay? No Prince Charming is going to come and knock on your door and say, hey, here's all this opportunity. Here you go. Or, hey, here's this bag. Here you go. Nobody's going to come and save you. You have to save yourself. Right? Christina, I appreciate that transparency. Right? She says, I realize that I want things to be easy and I've never really tried. A lot of you never have tried. Never have really showed up for yourself. Never have really said, you know what, for the next 30 days, I'm going to commit to XYZ, right? A lot of you are just gone with the wind fabulous. You're just lollygagging through life. You're lollygagging through life. And life is moving really fast. And then you're getting depressed that shit a year later and I'm still in the same position. Right? A year later, I'm still in the same position. Yo Tutu says, opportunity dances with those already on the dance floor. I love that. Opportunity dances with those already on the dance floor. Right? So a year later, you still in the same position. And who you got to blame for that? You. And then you get depressed about that. And then you go on another emotional roller coaster and you're like, you start to like give yourself all this slack. Right? So back to the story of when I was in Napa at this conference, right? I went to Napa and I was with trusted people and I was crying. I was crying because I was like, yo, like, this shit is hard. I'm not where I want to be. Like, I don't feel anchored. I don't feel like, I have the direction. And someone that I deeply care about had to tell me, like, yo, V, you being real hard on yourself. Like, give yourself some grace because you're doing some fucking dope shit out here. Like, give yourself some grace. So all of us has a threshold, or all of us has this thing where we feel like we're not doing enough. And a lot of you that follow me, I know you suffer from this same thing. I call it the gift and the curse of the ambitious. So the gift is like you're always want to do something. You always a go-getter. You want to execute. But then the curse is you're never satisfied. Right? And, it took him telling me to give myself grace that allowed me to like calm down and really get centered again and be like, you know what? I am doing my fucking thing. Like, let me stop being so hard on myself and let me just continue to do what I'm doing. Take action. Take the steps. Right? Take action. Take the steps. And you'll get where we're trying to go. Okay? Right? Christina says, start something new. The high wears off, quit, and the cycle begins. Right? So you have to decide, like, am I going to break the cycle? Just like I've had to decide. So Wherever you are in your journey, whatever level you're at, there will be different set of challenges because that's life. Even you choosing the easy life, even you choosing not to challenge yourself, is still bringing anxiety to you because you feel stuck and you feel stagnant and you feel like a loser. So even though you think choosing easy is serving you because it's easier, it's really not. Because I know you're not happy with where you are, right? I know you're not happy with you being in the same position that you were in a year ago. I know that you're not happy, right? So is it really easy? Is it really easy? No, it's not. It's not easy because you're going to still lay in your bed at night and be like, damn, like I'm really not doing shit with myself. Or like, damn, I should be, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Right? But are you really showing up? Like, are you really showing up? And, you know, you have to decide for yourself that enough is enough. You have to decide for yourself. There's nobody that can make that decision for you. There's nobody that can make that decision for you. Okay? There's nobody that can make that decision for you. And there is nobody that can make you commit to that. You have to want to commit to it so bad. It has to be such an urgency. And what I'm trying to avoid you guys from doing is waiting until you're at your wit's end to make a fucking decision. Right? Waiting until you're at your wit's end when your back is against the wall, your arms are tied behind your back, you're fucking broke, you're on your last $5. Like, why wait until you're in that state of desperation in order for you to take action when you are clearly aware of what you need to improve upon today? Right? When you are clearly aware. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Right? When you're clearly aware today of what are the things that you can do today to be better tomorrow. Why wait? Why wait until you're super broke? Why wait until you have all that pressure on your shoulders? Why wait until then? Instead of tapping in right now. Instead of tapping in right now. Okay? Instead of tapping in right now. And you also have to be real with yourself. Like if you half-ass in life, you half-ass in it. Right? If you half-assing life, you're half-assing it. Right? If you're half-assing life, you're half-assing it, and you need to be real with yourself. You need to be real with yourself and cut the excuses, or else you're just going to be in the hamster wheel. All right? The hamster wheel, and you're going to continue to go. Christina says, I don't even know what to commit to at this point. So stuck because I tried so many things. We need to narrow down. We need to niche down the focus, right? A lot of you have all these audacious goals. You want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do this, and you want to do all of these things like yesterday. We need to prioritize, right? Prioritize. What is it that's most important that I need to do in the next 30 to 60 days? What is the prioritization? What is most important that needs to happen in the next 30 to 60 days? And some of that might be that you need to get your mind right. And so your only focus for the next 30 to 60 days is focusing on mastering your mindset, reading some fucking books, right? Getting your mind right, saying no, creating boundaries, right? Maybe that's priority. Only you know what's priority. Only you know what's most important to you, right? And you know, you don't need anybody to validate for you. You know, because you grown, okay? You know, all right? You know. So write down the top 3 things that you must do before the end of the year and write out a plan of how you are going to execute on those 3 things before the end of the year and stick to the plan. Anything that doesn't have to do with that plan, you're saying no to. Sorry, can't show up to that. Sorry, no can do. Sorry, can't collab with you on that. Sorry, can't entertain that because I'm just doing these 3 things for the rest of the year. And that's it. And that's it. And that's all you're going to do. So you need to niche down and get your priorities in order for you to focus. And that's also going to help you with the overwhelm of it all. Because you're going to narrow it down. And you're only going to focus on 3 things. And that's it. Right? And then you can say in 2023, I'll revisit this. Right? But this is what I'm focusing on for the remainder of 2022. Yes, I love this. Official 1 says, all we have is today. The best thing I did was start my biz while I was still working. Yes. And this is what I'm about. I'm all about teaching you how to start your business while you're still working, while you still have that income coming in. So if you want to start, that free training is pinned below, guys. So make sure you tap into that. Jennifer says she's giving love to Angie, that she started following me because of her. I love it. I love it. I love it. Bonita says, shaking my head, it always seems impossible until it's done. Exactly, honey. I love this. I love this. Ooh, yes, I hear you, girl. Bonita says she's been overwhelmed with other people's stress. Yes. That's right. Let's go. I love this. I love this, guys. And listen, if this is resonating, share this live with 5 people and comment done. Like, let's get these people up in here. So, you know, we are going to be even more challenged when it comes to our minds. And this is why I'm a mindset coach, right? A mindset and business coach, because literally everything that you do, your mindset needs to be attached to it, or it's just not going to work. Or you're going to set yourself up for failure, right? And so it's important for you to really get this mindset thing right. And listen, it's a constant journey. It's never going to end. It's like the evolution of you. It's never going to end. You're going to constantly be on an evolution of you and constantly be thinking about, okay, how can I become the best version of me? What can I do next, right? What can I do next to be better? This is stuff that I think about all the time, every day. What can I do to be better? What can I do to not be lazy? What can I do to like really show up? What can I do? And the best thing is routines. I found that the best thing that helps get out of the hamster wheel, and the best thing that helps you, you know, take the next step is the routines. Shout out to Beyond Blessed for that badge. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Right? It's the routines. It's the routine of it all. Are you putting yourself on a schedule? Are you putting yourself on a routine and committing to the routine for the next 30 days? Hell, commit to the routine for 15 days, even 10 days. Break it down into small mini goals so that they feel more attainable, right? And you stick to it, right? They feel more attainable and you stick to it. The point is for you to stick to it, because once you are able to show yourself like, okay, I did this, I committed to this, I said I'm going to do this, and I did it. Once you do that, it triggers something in your brain that says, oh shit, I had a win here. Let me keep going, right? Like I had a win here, so let me continue on. And you have to like almost gamify what you are doing in life, right? Gamify your life. So give yourself something. I remember when I was working on Wall Street, here's a story for you guys. When I was working on Wall Street, I was at Lehman Brothers. It was my first job out of college. What's up, Dante? It was my first job out of college, and I was studying for the Series 7 and the Series 63 because I was trading, right? And the Series 7, 63 are like kind of like certifications that you need to have in order for you to trade on other people's behalf, right? So it has like all the rules, the regulations, different strategies, etc. So I go to take the Series 7. I'm super gassed. First of all, I'm the youngest on my team. I'm the only Latina on my team. So I go to take the test, and y'all, I fail the test. I fail that fucking test. I was so mad. I was like, fuck, I can't believe I failed this test. So now I got to go to the office the next day, and I got to show face, and everybody knows that I failed. Because literally after you take the test, shout out to Bonita for that badge. Appreciate you, mama. After you take the test, like, you get your score. So you know whether you passed or you failed immediately after you submit the answer to the last question. So, your girl failed, right? And I had to show up the next day to the office, and I was like, fuck, like, this is really sucky, right? I got all these blanquitos, right? Looking at me like, look at this little Spanish girl thinking she gonna pass us 7. She didn't pass nothing, right? So I felt the way. So then 3 months passed. I think it was like another 3 months, and they let you take the test again. So this time, like, studying my ass off. I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna pass this test. I'm going to make it happen, Captain. Okay? So I go in, I take the test, I submit my last question, and I'm like, oh shit, let's go. I failed that shit again. I failed it twice. I failed it again. And I was so mad. I was so fucking mad. I was like, oh my God. Like, how am I going to fail this again? And now I got to go back to the office again. And these people have to see me again failing this fucking test. I was so mad at myself. I was so mad. And it took so much for me to show up in that office again, knowing that I failed the test, not once, but I failed it twice. All right. So I show up, and, you know, people got jokes. They're like, damn, V, you failed it again. I'm like, yup, I failed that shit again, y'all. Shit was crazy. So I now had one more chance to take the test. They only let you take it 3 times. So I had one more chance to take the test. And I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Latina. I'm spicy. I got fire in me. I'm going to fucking take the test again. Fuck it. I'm going to take the test again. All right? So now this is my 3rd time taking this test. And I need to pass the test, because if I don't pass the test, I can't trade. If I don't pass the test, I can't do my job. So I need to pass the test. So this time, and this is how we're going to tie into rewarding yourself, because it triggers something in the brain. So this time I said, you know what? If I pass this fucking test, I'm going to buy myself my first Louis Vuitton wallet. Right? My first Louis Vuitton wallet. And it was my first like mega like big brand thing that I've ever owned, because I was never really into brands or anything like that. But this is something that I said I was going to gift myself if I passed the test the 3rd time. Okay? So here I am prepping. I'm studying my ass off. I got to hear, you know, the banter from my teams talking shit. I feel away because I'm the youngest on the team. I'm the only Latina on the team. So I feel like I'm let my community down. I feel like I let women down. I feel like I let my team down. Like, I was just in my feelings. Okay? All up in my feelings. So I said, you know what, V? We're going to take the test again. And we're going to get our Louis Vuitton wallet. And this is what we're going to do. So studying my ass off. So test day comes, sitting down, taking the test, and I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like, okay, this is good. But this was the same feeling that I was having when I took the test the 1st and 2nd time. So I was like, you know what, V, don't get ahead of yourself, because don't get ahead of yourself. So now is the 3rd time. I'm sitting down, I'm taking the test, and I click submit. And I remember like closing my eyes, and I was like, oh my God. fuck, should I pass this? And I remember peeking like this. You know when you peek like a little bit, like when you don't want to see and you're like, don't want to see, like, did I fucking pass? So I'm like peeking through my fingers because I really don't want to see it. And I'm like, oh, I passed the fucking test. I was so excited that I passed the test. And I promise you not, as soon as I walked out of that testing office, I walked my ass right to Louis Vuitton and I bought my wallet. So I share this with you guys to say that if you give yourself incentives around your goals, if you give yourself rewards around your goals, it does something in your brain that incentivizes you to want to do whatever the goal is, to complete the mission. Okay? So if you have a big audacious goal, or if you have a goal, I want you to attach the goal to a reward that you're going to give yourself once you achieve the goal. All right? So once you achieve the goal, I want you to put a reward attached to it because it triggers something in you. It triggers a new level of commitment. Okay? Because I wanted that Louis Vuitton wallet. Okay? So it triggers something in you. So for those of you who are struggling with your goals, you're struggling with following through, you're struggling with the commitment, I want you to give yourself a reward. And it doesn't need to be a Louis Vuitton wallet like I gave me. It could be a new bedding set. It could be, I just bought myself a set of golf clubs. Like whatever is important to you, whatever is something that you know would be meaningful to you, something that you want, that you've been wanting for a while maybe, right? You know it will be meaningful to you. I want you to promise yourself that you're going to reward yourself this thing when you achieve that goal. And you will see the difference in how you show up. You'll see the difference in your mindset. You'll see the difference in your behavior. Because now you got more stake in the game, right? There's more skin in the game. You got more at hand for you to achieve that goal because you have this reward that you're going after. Okay? So those are my steps, y'all. So wow, we covered a lot today. I hope you found this live helpful. And if you follow me and what I say resonates with you, please share my information with your friends, with your colleagues. I would love to welcome them into the community. I would love to, have them a part of this dope ass community and have them learn with me on the journey and grow. We grow together, all of that jazz. But y'all, if you are thinking about starting a business, I want to remind you that during the recession, during the down market, it is the best time for you to start a business. It is the best time, right? And we went over what those reasons are, right? Most millionaires are created during down markets. There is grants, shit ton of grants out there for emerging entrepreneurs, for women of color, for people of color, for emerging entrepreneurs, okay? And then third is because there's so many layoffs coming, you now have the opportunity to possibly partner, collaborate with some dope ass people, or even hire them for your team. All right. So if you want to start your business, but you don't know where to start, maybe you don't even know what type of business you even want to start, and you definitely don't want to lose your financial security, I have a free training that you guys can watch. That link is below. So watch that free training. You can also access it at the link in my bio. So make sure to access it, watch the training. It's about 15 minutes. And then after you watch the training, there's an opportunity for you to book a magic call that is absolutely free, so we can talk about the Dare to Leap Academy and you possibly joining the academy and seeing if it's a good fit. And we'll also talk about your business goals. Okay. So thank you for your time, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Au revoir.